I really trust this guy's game reviews. I love this guy's content. I think this guy is a must subscribe for anybody who actually is a fan of gacha games. I love this guy. I think he's a great dude as well. Recommend everybody giving this dude a subscribe. But yeah, he put out his NTE thoughts, and I'm very curious to hear what he thinks. I think NTE will be a 7 out of 10 gacha game, but we will see how people are feeling about it. I've heard some very high highs, and I've heard some very mid-mids, but we'll see.
Instead of rushing out my thoughts on NTE, I wanted to try and see as much of the game as I possibly could.
Good.
I wanted to try and understand the gameplay, the open urban city, and the combat.
While I think initial thoughts are good, I think it's important to disclose that they're initial thoughts and not give your day one thoughts as in a totality for the entire game. So I actually respect this quite a bit.
If you watched my live stream, you know that I had a grin of absolute happiness throughout my experience, but that was mostly due to the theme and the cutscenes within NTE. Unfortunately, due to internet issues, you were unable to see my next 4 hours on the game, where I started to see the flaws in Neverness to Everness.
Interesting.
Now, this game isn't a lost cause, and I'm hoping the developers are willing to make major changes to the game because there are some things that just need some rethinking. But before we get into the cons, let's talk about the pros.
Okay. I will say the pros that I've seen for NTE is this game probably has the second best cutscenes in any gacha right now. I think the number one is probably Zenless Zone Zero, but the overall polish of the way they tell their story cutscenes are very good. Have you guys seen it? What do you think? Genshin number one? All right, that's fucking cap.
The game shows a lot of personality through its first few hours while introducing you to a large group of beautiful characters.
The fuck is that character?
They used a mix of cutscenes.
Bro, this bitch is so fine, it's crazy. Like, this chick I could go crazy for. They did such a good job with her hair, her lips, her tits, her eyes. She looks phenomenal. And they even took Sunday too. Like, that's smart, bro. Just steal that character, bro.
An actual gameplay to give you a sense of the direction they were going for in this game's narrative, while also using those cutscenes to showcase the personality of each character. And to my surprise, I loved every single moment of it. I found that I couldn't help but smile when cutscenes were playing, as I felt a part of the experience.
That's huge.
I'm going to play two.
People might not agree with this, but the story for these gacha games actually matters infinitely more than the gameplay and pretty much anything else. If you can make the story fun and interactive and good, you can have a shitty game and have it sell well. Because people will get attached to the characters and you'll still make money and people will still come back every single patch. That's what's insane. And me realizing that was a bitter pill to swallow because it is the fucking truth.
Two different sections of NTE's story. The first one will show Mint being incredibly expressive while talking to the MC, and the second will be a creepy showcase of the supernatural aspect of the game.
Hell yeah.
刚才我碰到了 ETD 的白藏队长、伊芙队和法蒂亚前辈。还是那么耀眼，那么帅气，看起来是要出任务的样子。是哪里有异常情况吗？薄荷。
It is really fucking cute.
可可，回见。
Such a good job.
Despite the language barrier, it's easy to get lost in the cinematics. I can say without a doubt that story enjoyers will enjoy this game with little to no issue. NTE does a great job at introducing you to a cast of very different characters, giving you a sense of who they are through their personalities. The environments in NTE were also very well developed and are absolutely beautiful visually, with the only thing missing are items that help with mobility like...
I think the game looks okay from a design point. It doesn't exactly blow my mind. The other thing that I really don't enjoy is that when you're in the car, you can't hit NPCs. And I think that if you could unit collide with the characters on the streets, I think it would be far more fun. But I understand the issue that it will be with mobile, because that's going to require a lot of processing power. But yeah, it does just kind of feel like a worse GTA from what I've seen.
Skateboards and rollerblades. Having such items would allow the developers to not only get us around the city faster, but it'll also allow them to add a system to let us do tricks on the many rails within the game. I love how they added the ability to manage and customize your own apartment while also managing shops within the city.
Yeah, that's really nice.
These things bring another aspect to the city that haven't been done in another open world gacha
Yeah, I
game
love that.
before. However,
Super
here's
smart.
where I have to start delivering some of the cons within NTE. Before I start this section, everything that I say is in
I'm not gonna lie, bro. All this dude said was the cutscenes are nice and they have some cool management systems. Oh man. I'm gonna assume bro is about to go the fuck off. That is not a lot of bros.
hopes that the developers are listening and willing to make proper changes so that their game can be the success that I believe it can be. All right, so let's start off with the combat. The introduction to this game is top tier, till you get a taste of the early combat. It didn't feel exciting. You don't feel the weight of your actions because all of the abilities and attacks you're performing feel like paperweights, and the abilities are just repetitive. There are no real combos, just repeats of action 1, 2, and 3. Then you swap to another character to perform action 1, 2, and 3. And truth be told, I see nothing appealing or fun about this battle system. It lacks personality, uniqueness, and it feels worse than its competitors. I'm not trying to say this to discourage the developers. I'm saying this to iterate just how much this battle system needs a total overhaul. There's nothing fun or unique about this battle system. In fact, if you've played any of the competitors, you'll see that there are better options in terms of a battle system.
I think this is so important to stress because the moment everybody picked up Wuthering Waves, people realized, oh yeah, we have something special here. Oh yeah, this is fucking different. I have not felt something like this before. So I think a lot of people could freak the fuck out of this criticism, but it is so imperative to deliver this message to the devs that this needs work, that I'm very glad he's speaking out about this. Yeah, I'll be real. It did look like a dumbed down version of Wuthering Waves combat. So it appears that my worries are correct. That sucks.
I'm not going to say the names of those games, but you all know exactly what two games I am talking about. I know the battle system is a small fragment of a total picture, right? This game is about the experience within a city and its supernatural entities. But when you have a battle system in a game, you want to make the best battle system that you possibly can. And I don't feel
the numbers are also
that was
ugly as
delivered
shit
here in NTE. We don't need weaker repeats of things that have already been done. In fact, we need them to not copy other games and try to play with unique ideas. Toy around with swap cancels and actual combos. Chain abilities together. Create bonuses between units. Reward players for their attempts to discover new combos with different characters in their party.
I don't think people understand why it's so bad that if a new game comes out and its systems are worse than their competitors, because it's quite literally like, it's like if you go to a restaurant and somebody says, hey, this is the burger I'm about to eat. You need to make a better burger. And then they taste the burger. They know the burger. They could quite literally just copy the burger, but somehow still deliver you a worse burger. It is so, it's insulting, to be honest. They have the blueprint. They have the layout. They have the info, and they still make a worse version of something that already exists. It just makes no sense. And it screams sloppy. And it's not like they don't have funding. This game's developers have tons of funding. So this truly boggles the mind.
There are so many things that you can do with a battle system that is action oriented that I don't feel like has been captured in any gacha game for that matter. Capitalize on the supernatural aspect of the game and use that to make something special for the combat. I know this team has the talent to do so. Now it's a matter of, will you actually capitalize on that talent and create something that players will be impressed by? Now, after the battle system is overhauled, there are a ton of things that you can do to make players want to log in every day and experience this city that you've created with their friends. Add co-op to the game with racing events for both vehicles and the skateboards or rollerblades that I mentioned earlier. Add battle events by using the supernatural theme to create dungeons to explore. Create a capture the anomaly Ghostbuster event, something that they can do with other friends and capture different anomalies all over the map. Make this an experience that people will want to experience together without taking away the option of doing things alone. And I assure you that this game will stand out with all the competition that's out. This game will stand out on its own 2 feet. The final cons that I'd like to talk about are the character models and the driving. Starting with the character models, the facial expressions on the character models sometimes look very stiff. They look like slightly improved versions of Tower Fantasy's current models, which lack proper emotions in the face. There's a sort of stiffness to them that makes them less appealing and less interesting outside of cutscenes. You're using Unreal
it
Engine
didn't look
5
too bad
and
to
you
me.
even have ray tracing technology that looks phenomenal within this game. You should be using this
Yeah,
opportunity.
they definitely look like a step up from Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail's expression, which is definitely a huge W. However, yeah, compared to like Zenless Zone Zero, they're pretty rough. But I do think they're at least better than Genshin and Honkai, and probably even Wuthering Waves too. I think that's probably a step in the right direction.
To make every aspect of Neverness to Everness as beautiful and as anime as possible. Moving on to the vehicles within this game, this is going to be a very easy thing to say. They just don't feel as good as I would expect them to, with this being an open city to explore.
So this is disastrous because this was the main selling point of the game, was these cars are going to feel really good and it's going to feel really fun to explore. The biggest thing this game was trying to sell you was exploration. And if the exploration feels bad, this game might be fucking cooked. Like, actually, you need to take this shit seriously. This might actually cook the fucking game. They need to make the cars fast, snappy, easily accessible, have ramps to go off, be able to do dumb shit. This needs to be the best part of the game. And if it's not, I'm sorry, guys, it's fucking cooked. Now, maybe there's a system in place where you can upgrade the car to make it better. But for where I'm at, the car system is fully developed, in my opinion, or to my knowledge. And if it's not going to get any better, this isn't good. It's really not good.
They feel much better than Tower Fantasy's mounts do, but they still need a bit of work. Anyways, these are just my first impressions after playing the game for about 8 hours or so. While my opinions can change as I play the game more or after I play the game in English, I don't think they will, because a lot of this has to do with the visual aspect of the game and the battle system. So we'll just have to wait and see after I've played the game so much more. I do feel like this game has the potential to be massive, but major changes to the battle system, movement, and visual quality of the character models, as well as the vehicle movement, all need to be upgraded to look and feel visually pleasing as well as smooth gameplay wise. Hada Studio, I really hope you're listening. Anyways, what do you all think of Neverness to Everness after seeing so many content creators play the game over the past couple of days?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, boys. This worries the fuck out of me. Everything they needed to deliver on, I have heard in unison by every CC that I've talked to, that they did not deliver on what they needed to deliver on. I'm worried, and I think I have every right to be worried. This might spell disaster, but we'll have to see. Chaotic, great video, man.